Good evening, everybody. My name is Gladys from Ikamvalethu Secondary School. There it is. It's situated in Langa. It was not a secondary school. It was a finishing school before, from 1992 to 2002. Why I decided to come to the program? I had an opportunity in 2006 of listening to the author, Benjamin Zander. I was sitting there and saw this amazing author inspiring me. And when I saw PFP, it clicked into my mind. I said, oh my goodness, this comes from that book. I want to be there. From then, I started looking for information around the principals who were in the program. And they informed me that it's the best thing to do. So then I filled in a questionnaire in 2013, wanting to be part of the program, and I waited and waited. I kept on going to breakfast meetings. And some principals told me, no, you don't just get in there if you don't have a business partner. Oh my goodness. And he came to my school and I complained. I said, I filled in the questionnaire, you can't come and tell me everything. I attend all these sessions, but I'm not in the program. So early 2016, it worked. I do not ignore my professional growth. The rubber band must stretch. Keep on stretching. I don't want to lose the tension between the rubber band and the stretching of the rubber band and where I'm going professionally. So I wanted to learn the best strategies to improve the school. School improvement, it's not an easy thing when you're working alone. Not to say that staff members are not involved, but somebody to lean on, to say, I've got this, other than the deputy principal, than the department, can we do something? So I wanted to learn that in order to improve the school, and to interact with the other principals and business partners. I believed in business partnering, and I was challenged. Again, in 2006, I was in Birmingham, and I saw the principals around Birmingham partnering with the businesses, and I said, I wanted that to happen. How do I do that? Can I just rock up in one of the offices and ask for partnership? Will they understand? But unfortunately, I didn't do anything about that. I was waiting for a business partner to come, and there in 2016.
Okay, so yes, I said. So I said yes to P4P because of a Richard Branson quote. A Richard Branson quote and hope. Hope, an expectation or desire for something to happen. My hope for South Africa is for every child to receive the best possible education. Sadly, this is not the case in most of our schools. Because most of our schools in South Africa are under-resourced, which means that we are failing our children and our future. So first and foremost, I wanted to get involved in education. And secondly, my hope was to make a small contribution. But why choose P4P? The concept really appealed for me. Here was an amazing opportunity to get involved with a community and a school that I would not necessarily come into contact with. So I was hoping to assist in some way, but at the same time I might also learn something. So because of this quote, and my husband, with some prompting from him, I said yes, and then I learned.
Yes, as I have already said, a school changed from a finishing school to a secondary school. Finishing school, we used to teach learners who failed matric. It didn't matter how many times one fails. We re-taught them until they passed, not push them. So that was our passion. No matter how old they were, we retaught them. So we changed to a secondary school. We had challenges in terms of enrollment after changing to become a secondary school. And then in terms of results as well, the finishing school numbers were huge, and the results, were not that good. If one comes to finish, we don't know where that one person started, so we must start penal beating that person, and then until improvement comes, and we used to get joy in that. So now it's a secondary school. It must be in line with the other schools. The results must improve. And how do they improve? We involve all stakeholders. And with this program, it opened more opportunities for stakeholders to be involved.
So after I said yes to P4P, I learned that my partner was going to be Mrs. Gladys Masuta, and that she was a principal at a finishing school called Ikamvalethu in Langa. So here I was, secretly thinking to myself, finishing school? I thought it was a girls-only school, and I've never admitted this to anyone. A girls-only school teaching social refinement, etiquette, and development. So, little did I know, and much did I have to learn. So as I got to know Gladys and Ikamvalethu, we discovered some issues that needed improvement at the school. Like Gladys said, in 1994, there was 1,700 learners because it was a finishing school. So some students only took like 1 or 2 subjects. And then the numbers started decreasing up to only 440 in 2016. So as I got to know Gladys, I learned that we needed to focus to improve the academic achievements. But I also learned about the good things that they were already doing at the school. So in 2015, the matric learners came to Gladys and her team, and they asked if they can do a matric sleepover at the school during exam times. So Gladys and her team said yes. Despite objections and obstacles, they chose to say yes. And the actual matric pass rate increased from 36% in 2014 to 60% in 2015. So that was quite an achievement. So that was some of the things we learned. We also learned that we focused on the enrollment numbers that needed improvement and the community that needed to get more involved and assist the school.
Imelda tells me that I always say, okay.
You always say yes.
I always say yes.
I'm always a bit more cautious, whereas Gladys always says yes, which is a good thing at the school, I think. Okay, so for me, the highlights of the P4P program was definitely our COP meetings, the community of practice meeting for you, every 6 weeks. I got to know the principals and the partners very well, and they are all people that I've learned from through our shared knowledge and shared experiences. The formal training also helped me to develop and grow my own leadership. Meeting regularly with Gladys at the school, it was always very exciting and vibey and lively there at Ikamvalethu, so I enjoyed that. One of our achievements last year was doing, because Ikamvalethu changed from a finishing school to a secondary school, we felt that the vision and the mission of the school was outdated, so it was time for a change. So we attended a strategy session where we renewed the vision and the mission. And then lastly, at the end of the year, we had a lovely appreciation lunch at Spear. Here we are at the workshop for the vision and mission, and don't they look energized? And, and that was like end of the year, November, on a Saturday.
I think meeting Imelda was amazing. I do not regret working with her. As we said earlier on, our plan was to develop the school. When the school is developed, everybody within the school works as a team, and they are able to continue whether one is present at school or not. And we, as she said already, we attended all the meetings and the sessions together. And to build a relationship with the school community as well. She has already said she attended church function together. She came to a church fundraising based at our school, and we found ourselves there reconnecting with the community. And it happened to me too, after attending community workshop, I found myself fired up because I always say yes. When another church requested to host the handing over of food parcels to the widows and the orphans, I said yes. And I spent the whole Saturday, communicating, working with them as we hand over there. So I got fired up by that workshop. The vision and mission of the school and the values, they're all reviewed. And if it wasn't for Amelda's intervention and for this program, I'm sure we could have been, working, or postponing, and organizing support for matric sleepover at the school. That was a big issue, and I'm sure people saw it on television. And it was again supported by everybody within the group here. And that empowered me as well. After attending Flawless Consultant, when our boss there, Louis, talk about it, I felt like a celebrity on the day, and it really, really worked for us and to put our school on the map. And it was something amazing. The support we got from the community and other people interested. And again, we organized banners and flyers to advertise the school. Organized open day for the school. The numbers were dwindling. We couldn't just sit. And if I was alone, I wouldn't have thought about it without Amelda. Flyers and banners, we advertised the school, we put them up. We found ourselves also on Saturday with some of my colleagues there enrolling our learners. And the enrollment as of now has increased from 437 to 552. And we ended with a Staff Appreciation Day at Spear. And she's a member of Ikamvalethu family. They will never, never forget her. And before she even comes through the gate, one will be signaling, "Your friend is here." And then, yeah. That's our registration flyer, which went all around the schools in Langa and other areas. And those are our kids, just on Appreciation Day,
Okay, so it's important to acknowledge the highlights, but also the challenges. But this is a celebration event after all, so I won't focus too much on the challenges. I just want to share them with you. Maybe, I don't know, it helps a future partnership. A year goes by too quickly. Like Bill Gates says that most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. So I think Gladys and I, with our plan, were very ambitious. And we definitely overestimated, but we've got some things done. But it's important to know that even though P4P is officially only for a year, that some of the goals will only be reached within 3 to 5 years maybe. So you need to be committed for a longer time. Organizing bi-weekly meetings in the beginning between a busy principal, and business partners turned out to be quite a challenge. In the beginning it was fine, but as time passed, sort of life happens, and we struggled to stick to our 2 weekly meetings. How to influence and get things done was also a problem for me at the beginning. You're not at the school on a daily basis. You have no title, you have no authority. You have ideas, but you have no money to implement them. And then it's important to be cautious, not to just enforce your own ideas and implement them, but to really partner with your partner and hear from them what their problems and their solutions are. Okay, so as per the Richard Branson quote again, I learned a lot. At the Time to Think workshop, I learned that listen and silent has exactly the same letters, and that this is no coincidence. You cannot give your best listening if you are not silent, and this was something I had to learn. As a result of the Time to Think workshop, I also implemented weekly one-to-one meetings with my staff. At the Flawless Consulting, I've learned to address resistance earlier so that it can be discussed openly and we can find solutions together. And the community building workshop, questions are often more significant than answers, and problems can sometimes quite easily be turned into possibilities. So we need to consider the best option scenario of what is possible, and what if we do it this way. I got to know myself a lot better through the P4P program, my strengths, but also my weaknesses, and what I need to improve on. And you know what? It's okay. I can look back and say, I've tried, I can work on it, and going forward, I might be able to do things a little bit differently. I also started reading a lot more. I don't know if it was a direct result from the P4P program, but not just action and crime, but I started reading a lot about leadership and effective management. So, and then the one main thing that I've learned was being a bit more cautious always. I've learned from Gladys to sometimes just say yes and do it.
I have learned contracting successfully from Flawless Consultant, and creating also a space to think from time to think, reviewing the vision and mission and values within a short space of time. It was never easy, but it worked. And communicate effectively. And when you have all stakeholders who need to come on board, you need to really communicate with them effectively. And ability to listen without interrupting, and pay attention and ask the right question. If you are listening without judging, you are paying attention, and you are able to think, to ask the right questions.
One thing that I can say is that Gladys always says yes, but I ask a lot of questions.
A lot of questions, I told you. But in spite of all this, I'm willing. My willingness to re-energize and renegotiate with stakeholders. I don't lose patience easily, never. And I don't have a problem with the program, PFP. It worked for me, it can work for everyone, and I definitely recommend it for new principals. I enjoyed myself.
Okay, so the way forward for us, it is important to look back and reflect and reevaluate and reassess the partnership and our partnership plan. Gladys has unfortunately resigned at the end of January this year, but she has earned her rest. She was the principal of Ikamvalethu from 1999. That's 16 years of being a principal at an under-resourced school. She has earned her rest and she has paid her school fees, so to speak. Our partnership can unfortunately then not continue, but as I said, there's a lot in our plan that can still be implemented. We took the photos for the website, but the website hasn't been done yet, so we need to finish the website. We wanted to implement the SMS communication system so that we could better communicate with the parents. And there was a plan to partner with another school so we can investigate and explore that option also. Yeah, so this was our P4P story, and it is important to remember that every partnership and every P4P story is going to be different and unique. So thank you for listening to our story.